Hi, I'm Robin, and I'm here with Rodrigo, a long-term CGP member. And without further ado, I would directly get into this. So, Rodrigo, please tell us who you are and what you do.
Hey everyone, thanks for the introduction, Robin. My name is Rodrigo. I'm 35 years old. I worked in tech. I'm a data engineer for one of the big four tech companies. I started my investing journey in 2014 or so, but mainly stocks, options, and some other regular investments like funds and things like that. And it was mainly through like savings from my salary that I was doing the investments there. So yeah,
Got it. So, a developer of one of the big four companies.
yes.
It's a bit mysterious. All right, got it. Before joining Crypto Game Plan, when you think about like a crypto journey, what was like your biggest frustration or fear regarding the crypto market?
Yeah, so when I joined the crypto market, it was at the end of the last bull leg in 2024, like end of 2024, beginning of 2025. So it was a hype moment, and a big frustration was that I was seeing everyone saying in social media that they were making a lot of money, and I was feeling that I
Mm,
was lagging behind, and I started like buying some coins without proper studying, without even knowing what I was doing, and that resulted in almost a catastrophe because I lost quite a bit of money there. So it was very frustrating, of course, to see everybody in that hype moment saying that they were making a lot of money, and all you see is losses after losses after losses because of a very bad entry into the market.
yeah, it's a devastating feeling. I can completely understand that. When you think back, was there like a specific breaking point where you realize, okay, I couldn't reach my goals or the goals that I set for my crypto portfolio on my own?
I think it was mainly at this point when I was seeing everything going down, and I had no idea what to do. And also, it wasn't only related to crypto, I would say. It was mainly reach life goals in general, right?
Hmm.
About having a more comfortable life, a better standard of life. So that was the time that I think I thought to myself, I have to do something different if crypto is something that I see potential in being life changing, but not by doing what I'm doing right now,
Hmm.
which in a few months caused only frustration, pain, and losses in general. Right. So I think that was the breaking point for me.
Yeah, I got it. I think this is something that a lot of people feel, right? So especially if you start at the later stages of a bull market, like you see everyone is posting like stuff on social media, everyone is hyping up
Yes.
crypto. Just looking at that and looking at your own performance which is not good in this situation. This is like definitely something that makes you feel like either you are lagging behind or it lets you think, okay, maybe I'm not good enough for this.
Hmm.
So I can completely understand that. I think a lot of people go through this. During that time or even before that, have you tried like any other programs or methods, and why didn't you or why do you think you didn't see the results you were looking for?
Hmm. So yeah, ever since I started investing, I always followed it's not really a method, it's more of a philosophy of
Hmm.
investment, which is an accumulation mindset, right? So you accumulate assets that generate some sort of passive income. So that is what I did ever since I started investing, right? So
Yeah.
I would buy stocks that would give dividends. I would try to make money out of those stocks by selling options on
Hmm.
those stocks, and I would always have some sort of fixed income funds that would give you a small percentage every month, right? And I
Yeah.
would take money out of my salary to add to those investments and grow my net worth over time. So that philosophy was very good. It made me reach a point where I'm financially very comfortable. So it was working,
Hmm.
but in the end, what most people would call inflation, which is not actually just inflation, right? Is the printing of money basically made that philosophy not work to achieve what I wanted to achieve anymore. So that is why mainly this philosophy that did not give the results that I was looking for anymore. So I needed a little bit of edge to actually make my profits cover the monetary expansion and inflation, obviously, and to actually reach my goals. The way it was going, I could obviously keep a very comfortable life, but yeah, I always wanted something to do something different to get to a point where I was actually happy with my investments and with my financial life in general.
Got it. So you basically said, okay, like the old method of just relying on dividends in the stock market wasn't working anymore because inflation was just too high, right?
Yes,
Like, I mean,
exactly.
the dividend payouts are good in low inflation environments, but
Yes.
not the best, let's put it like that, in high inflation environments like we are in right now. All right, got it. And have you tried any specific things in crypto specifically, or were we like the first?
No, in crypto, I joined. I couldn't even say that I joined because it was just one of those groups where they send signals. But I never even read it through. Like I read the first post that one guy sent, like a hint or something to buy, but I didn't quite understand what kind of operation it was because I had never dealt with crypto before. So I basically said, no, I'm not going to blindly follow something that someone is sending through a Telegram group that I joined for free. So
Yeah.
like, no way. I just quit the group right away and that was it.
The right decision. Most people have to go through some pain before they make the right calls in crypto. But good call. All right, got it. And when exactly did you join Crypto Game Plan? And what was like the main reason you decided to pull the trigger to make that shot?
I joined on the first Friday of 2024 because I remember it was the time to send in my first task. So I was already beginning to go through the course. And I gave this some thought, what made me pull the trigger. And it was a hard decision because first of all to schedule the call with you, because at the time we scheduled that one-on-one that we went through like how the program works and you explained several points about it in a one-on-one. And that was to me the trigger because while I was doing some research on things that I could do differently, I came across like a lot of scams, schemes, and all those, get rich quick and those people just selling stuff on the internet. And it was very hard for me to even go through scheduling the call. But then I thought, if we're going to have a one-on-one, I'm going to see this person live and we're actually going to spend an hour talking about the program. And he's taking the time to explain what this is about. It's not something that's really scalable to a point that it is going to be a scheme, right, or a scam or something like that. So that was the first thing that even made me go through the one-on-one. And then during the one-on-one, I had several questions about how the program works, and again the scalability problem that just said, and all the answers that you gave me just reassured me that this is something serious, and this is something that is not just for the owners to get your money and go away with it. This is something that they're really interested in building something different, a community of people that actually know what they're doing when there comes to investments, and that will in the end help each other out to grow because as I said, the scalability problem also comes when only one or two people are doing research and trying to improve, right? If you have more people working with the same mindset and with the same techniques, of course you get further faster.
100%. Yeah, this is always what I call like swarm intelligence inside of Crypto Game Plan, especially during bullish phases where like a lot of things are going on. Like I always say, like Jack and I have been working together for a very long time already inside of the crypto space, and a lot of the success was happening, or that we had, came through being a team. And then once we realized that the market gets too vast to to actually do the research on all the projects that are out there that could be interesting, the time that it takes to do that is just getting too crazy. So also when it comes to the system building, right? It's like a system is a living thing, and in the beginning it might work for you, but the more people realize, okay, you have to be a bit more professional, the harder it becomes to build very good systems. And the smaller the, I wouldn't call it alpha, but the alternative beta gets. So basically the profits that you can make by following rules and just having like a community that shares ideas on how to build like new parts in the system, all of this, even if we are not there yet with most of with the biggest part of the community, we will get there. And this will allow us to constantly stay one step ahead of everyone out there. And once we reach like 50, 60, 70 people inside of the program who are at this stage, the amount of information, high quality information that we can generate together will be crazy. Like this will basically help us to always stay on top of the game, no matter if it's like finding new projects or continuing to improve like the investment system, right? So yeah, I totally get that. Cool. All right, got it. Now when you joined, I already have an idea in my mind, but what was like the most surprising thing you learned inside the program that you hadn't heard anywhere else?
Okay. So there are a few things, right? The first one is that it's not something that I had not heard before, but it was surprising to see that within this investment program was the focus on change of mindset, right? Because the first thing that you need to change once you go into something like this, if you are not already with that mindset, is to switch it, right? So, and by change of mindset, I mean that it's a change of thinking that crypto is only for quick gains or something like that, or that there's a magic formula to make money, or that you don't need the constant discipline in order to achieve something, right? So those things were very surprising for me to see within this program, because when I joined, I thought it was only going to be like lessons, very straightforward lessons on investing and things like that. But the big focus on that change of mindset. First of all, it helped me a lot, and I think it also helps other people in either think that this program is not for me, or that, okay, I have to do something different in order to get to the point that these guys are in terms of investing and in terms of success, I would say.
Got it. So the mindset shift was one of the things
Yes.
that you found very surprising. You said there were multiple things. Do you have like anything else on your mind?
The other thing was how, very big air quoting here, simple the systems are.
Mm-hmm.
And simple in terms of, like, it, of course, once you get to see how it's done, and that's why we joined the program as well, right? Is that it's the combination of multiple simple things that would make a good thing, right? And this is why the emphasis on change of mindset and discipline and constant working comes into play, right? Because it is a very boring thing to say, to do, I have to say. So this is why, like, I'm saying that how simple it is surprising, because the fact that it's simple doesn't mean that it's easy, or doesn't mean that it doesn't take time. It just means that you have to be constantly doing a quite boring thing until you start getting results, right? So this was very surprising for me.
It's always like in business as well. The most boring businesses make the most amount of money.
Yes.
So it's like always the things that nobody wants to do that will deliver you the results you were looking for.
Exactly.
So yeah, I totally agree with you on that, Tech. It's definitely not something that is crazy new. It's like you said in the beginning, it's not like a secret method that lets you screen whale wallets, and it's like you're not a detective, you're a data analyst. And
exactly.
If you want to make, or if you want to make money in crypto. Got it, cool. Now, when it comes to the support level inside of Crypto Game Plan, how would you compare it maybe to other groups that you were in, like maybe also in the stock world, or just in general, when you don't have like something to compare it to, like how would you describe the support level that you receive inside of CGP?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have a standard here to compare, but I can say like that the support is great. My answers never got unanswered when I reached out. I think if we cancel maybe one or two live calls that we had because of something that came up with you guys was too much, maybe throughout the year. Yeah. So in general, the support is great, and even by other members, like we see the chats are active, people are welcoming new members, people are sharing some thoughts, some twitters and things that they see, and of course the daily updates and the weekly meetings, like that that is to me a great kind of support. I think you wouldn't see this in any other program where you take more than an hour a week to sit down with every single member and invite them to a call and have a topic to present and open up the floor for questions and have everybody discuss if they want to. So I think it's great. Like it's more than I expected to, because also when I joined, to me it would be maybe some online course videos and things like that, and that was it. But I was surprised by like the fact that there is a chat, that you guys are always open to questions and you're very responsive when something comes up.
Yeah. Yeah, we want you guys to succeed. This is not just the gimmick, this is like the reality. And especially when we see people actually like also implementing the information that we give them, this is just like for us, again, like just motivates us to like keep on going and keep on like also providing you with like the best service possible. Cool. All right. Was like you covered it or said it already, like you had some doubts in the beginning before like even entering like into the one-on-one call with me.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't there anything like specifically holding you back besides like all the schemes and other scams outside of crypto?
Yes, one thing that I added to this question, that I can add to this question, is that it's a discomfort in terms of ego, right? Because at least for me, it's basically saying I'm not capable of doing this alone, and I would need to rely on somebody else to actually help me through this. And on top of that, what will other people think of me, right? I always had this thing in my mind that I have to work on my own, that I'm the only one that will be able to do things for myself, and also this constant thinking of what will other people think of me. And it's because for other people, if you briefly show them what CGP is, they will have the same doubt that I had, that, well, this looks like a scam. Well, why is this different than all these guys with these get rich quick schemes out there? Why is this different? So it's a very big ego thing to defeat in order to join a program like that. And this, to me, I think it was even harder than anything else. So it's the fight with yourself.
Yeah, 100%. I also feel that like every time when I join like another coaching program for whatever like area I want to become better at, it's always like also letting other people tell you what's right once you joined, right? Like the receiving the information on the one hand, but also implementing them without having like your own thoughts influencing your decisions. And it's, for me, I always tell myself, okay, those guys know better than me. I saw what they are doing. I see like the results they achieve. So I hold my little monkey back and say, okay, guys, do your thing. I will follow you blindly till I reach like a level that you're at, and then I can start my own way of thinking. So maybe like I already took that from you, but if you could say something to your past self about like that doubt, what would you say? Or what would you tell yourself?
I think I wouldn't say anything, because what made me at the very time that I joined, I had this realization that I have to do something different.
Yeah.
And what I told myself at the time was also, if this doesn't work, worst case scenario, it's a tentative, right?
Yeah.
I think never in my life I took, and again, air quoting here, a risk like this, which is not really a risk. What risk did I have if I didn't like the program, or if it didn't meet my expectations or anything like that? All I would do is I would quit and not participate anymore, and that's it. It was a tentative, right? I would look for something else, or I don't know, maybe not look for anything. But lucky enough, I think it was a hit for me to join the program with all the advantages I just spoke of. So
yeah, got it. Yeah, it's also like this is also something that a lot of people like have. Like they get discouraged from one bad experience and then never try again. And it's like, I don't get that. I had so many coachings for like also for Instagram, right? And a lot of them were bad.
mm-hmm.
And this didn't hold me back from trying again and again and again till I found like a guy who actually was able to help me out and show me how to do it in a proper way. And when I think back, like all the investments I've made into becoming better at this, all the like bad coachings out there still led me to this guy who now helped me out to become the Instagrammer that I am today. So
That's cool.
it's it's part of the journey, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, got it. Now, when you think about your past self and compare to your today's version of being a crypto investor, how would you say did CGP transform your investment journey?
Yeah, again, we come back to the discipline and the change of mindset, and also on top of that, there's the ego part that I just explained in the previous question. Those were the self changes in discipline, accountability, and leaving your ego aside and trying not to think what other people would think about what you're doing, trying not to be ashamed of anything, I don't know, or shy about anything, and letting you guys, like you, Robin and Jax as well, really guide you through, because although in the beginning it did not seem that it was very structured, like as things progressed, I could see that I was getting somewhere, and the change was actually there. And the second thing is, I think this is now we actually come to the investing world, is that these past few months, I've been always catching myself on going back to bad habits, like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this coin just because I think it's at a low price, or I'm gonna buy this stock because I think it's at a low price, or something like that. And then I stopped and I said, well, what did I hear throughout all this course? Like, don't guess, look at data. So even if right now my system is as simple as it gets, with maybe 1-2 indicators out there that I look at, it already held me from doing something stupid, and also helped me to do something smart, right? And I can give a couple of examples. I think this is the next question, but I'll go ahead and just say it.
I mean, just share them. It's fine. I'm looking forward to that part as well.
Like when it was in the stock market, where I did some very good entries during the bear market in 2022, right? I had some very good entries, and I was like, is it the time to sell? Like, I've held this for almost 2 years. And then rather than just saying, yeah, it's a high price, I opened up the graphs and looked at super trend and looked at RSI and saw, well, this looks like it's very overbought, and it's the time to sell, even if it's to take a little bit of profit right now. And I'm not going to sell everything. I'll just sell some of it, take a profit, and feel good about the knowledge that I gained being applied to the real world. So I did that a few times throughout this year, but it's hard. I gotta tell you, it is hard, because going back to the habit of just guessing, oh, this is a good price to sell, or this is a good price to buy, is always there with you, because you look at a very short time frame, and you say, yeah, this thing went down so much in the past 2-3 days, but then zoom out. I remember Jacques always saying is zoom out, look at the big picture when you're looking at the graphs, right? Is this really the lowest it can go, or is the downtrend broken, or is this already in an uptrend that it's worth investing right now? Will the trend continue? What are the indicators saying? What is macro saying? What are announcements that are coming from the U.S. government that are going to influence it? So you just stop. And as I said, it's simple. The things that you look at are simple. But you have to look at them. You have to make this shift to stop your bad habits and just go back and just look at some data before you make the decision. Even if it's not at a point where it's super elaborate with 100,000 indicators or whatever, it already helps you to make a better decision. And it was successful because I did sell at the very top, my stocks. And then I bought it again after a very large correction and some time of downtrend. And then when the trend started going up again and there was confirmation on the trend, I entered it again. So it felt good to apply some of these things, right?
I'm very glad to hear that. I think this is also something, like you said, something very important here. You will always feel something. You will always have that voice in your head which will tell you, this is a good price, get it. And this is also for Jack and me, like this will never stop. The only thing that holds you back from making bad decisions is, like, for example, Jack told you, like zooming out, looking at the data, and always reminding yourself, okay, I'm only human, and like when I make a decision without like going through a framework beforehand, it will always be an emotional decision. And even if you have 20 years of experience, like you are in the stock market for quite some time now. I'm in crypto for close to 8 years now. Oh, I think it's 8 years now. You always fall back into this, like making decisions based on greed and fear if you don't use your systems. Yes. And your decisions will always be worse than if you would have used like a framework to make it. So very, very, very important thing here. An important learning for everyone out there who thinks they can control their emotions.
Absolutely. It is hard. It is hard, I can tell.
Yeah, and I mean, but I see that you're making crazy progress. Also that you found a way to apply the knowledge outside of crypto is just amazing to hear. It's cool to hear. When you think about like your daily routine that you have as an investor in crypto now, and compare the stress level that you had before joining CGP and looking like at how you approach crypto today, how would you compare it? Or what changed?
No, it changed a lot. Like when I started, I would open my like Binance app or Coinbase app and just look at what's the price right now, where's the price going, things like that, and only looking at a very limited amount of information, and getting those dopamine hits that, oh yeah, price is up, price is down, things like that. And it was a bit stressful, I would say. So I think that is the first thing that changed. I look at the price maybe once a day. I check, how's the open, how's the close after a whole day, once or twice a day, and then go back to if I have some money to spend, I mean to invest, right? I check indicators, see if it's a good entry or not, rather than just guessing this is a price or not. And also in terms of the routine, what changed is that I had a really big problem with accountability, and by joining the program and having the weekly tasks and things like that, it made me add these, I call them the useful thing I did in the day, right? So that can be working a little bit on my system, or maybe reading a book for self-growth, not just any random story or entertaining book, or even like going to the gym, putting aside my phone and just focusing on, detoxing from social media and things like that. So that's another thing that really, really changed in my routine. And another thing about the stress level, I always thought that I had to be 100% of the time invested. I felt so bad for holding cash. I was always like, man, I have this cash here, it's doing nothing. What can I buy? What should I buy? What should happen? What should I do now? And I was always very stressed with that. And after seeing how you guys do it, it helped me a lot to get rid of the stress. So I'm 1,000% more comfortable now holding cash and not stressing out about it. And I've held it for a few months throughout this last year, for many months. Yeah. We didn't do any trades, we didn't do anything. We just sat and waited and looked at indicators and improved systems and tried to change mindset and get out of old habits, of just watching that cash there and saying, what should I buy now? So I think that to me was again a very, very big shift.
It's also a very important shift, right? Because like especially in bear markets, when you come out of a bull market, it's so hard to sit on your hands and do nothing.
Oh yeah.
But it's one of the most important skills that any investor out there can have. Like understanding that sometimes are simply not good for being invested in a certain asset class. This is like true not just for crypto, but also for other asset classes as well. And I feel like a lot of people lose all their profits they have accumulated in good times by simply not being able to wait and delay satisfaction. So
or just selling and then sitting on that cash for a while without doing nothing, right? Because I think it's always that constant thought, what if it goes up more? And why my money is here doing nothing, right? So it's also a very hard mindset shift there.
Yeah, 100%. And again, one of the most profitable ones when you think about
Yeah.
what you can do with this cash when the times are getting better again, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, perfect. Now, if you would describe your before and after when it comes to your crypto confidence, how would you do it?
Yeah, so I can keep this very short. Before, guessing game. That's it.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to describe it. Almost like gambling, right? It's this exact same feeling because it was buying something or a coin with the hope that it will be the next 10x, 100x, or however
Yeah.
many x. Whereas now it's this. If I wanted to gamble, I'll just buy lottery tickets or gamble in sports or whatever, or go
Yeah.
to a casino or something like that, because this crypto can be a 24-hour casino with infinite amount of money. So this is why I have to be very, very careful there.
Yeah.
And right now is no more guessing, no more looking for the next 100x. Is working on the system when it's a bear market, or if I want to make a decision, is let's look at the data. If you're not certain, don't make the decision. It's better just sit on your cash, because you're not gonna lose it, even if you miss out some opportunities. The probability that you're missing out on losses, which is a good thing, is a lot larger than you're missing out on gains, right? So
Exactly.
this is the after, right? So trying to be rational all the time about it and keeping myself in check when the emotions start to creep in,
Yeah.
to to meddle with the decisions.
Yeah. It's one. I mean, this reminds me of a thing that you said earlier. Like your daily routine changed. You go to the gym more often. You are less on social media. Like in terms of like becoming a better investor and keeping yourself, like you said, more in check, you need to fix your personal side first.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is also one thing that I learned from one of my mentors. Like he told me, like Jack and I sat together with him and talked about crypto game plan in the early days, and we were asking him, okay, what business strategies do we have to implement to get to that and that level? And he looked at us and told us, all right, I never met a businessman who became really successful at what they're doing without first fixing their personal lives. If the if the fundamental thing is not set, you will always crack at a certain point. And I know a lot of crypto investors out there who made a bunch of money by being early to certain things, but losing it all because they weren't mentally on that level to manage this sort of money. So in the aftermath, a lot of those people lost everything simply because they weren't built for it yet. And I see that with you as well, like the confidence you have speaking to me now, it's like very different to when we first spoke on this 1v1 call. Like it's amazing to see how you developed as well in this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to whatever comes out of the next couple of months and maybe years. So I'm looking forward to that.
Likewise.
Now, you already said that, and you also wrote text beforehand, so I can imagine what you would say. But who would you recommend CGP to, and who should probably stay away?
Yeah, this is a hard one.
Yeah.
Because I mean it's a very good thing, but it is hard. So this is why it's hard to know who would I recommend this to. So I'll try to be a little bit general here, but
Mm-hmm.
if you're a person that really has come to a point where you keep thinking to yourself, I need to change, I need to do something different, I'm not where I want to be in terms of I would say financially in this case, right? But as I said, it also helps with other aspects of your life, because you have to change your whole self, and you're at a point that you're not even able to cover those thoughts anymore with distractions.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because normally people do this, will try to numb yourself with other distractions, or tell yourself, no, this is fine, I'm doing fine, look at everybody else, I might be doing better than other people, but in the end, that overwhelming thought of, I'm not where I'm at right now, or I'm not where I want to be right now, and I need to get better or improve in some sense. If you're at that breaking point where these thoughts are louder than you're willing to just be numb about it, maybe that's the time for you to join. But with that, remember, it is hard. If you are just looking for something, and this comes to the part of the stay away, right? It is very hard. It takes time, it takes discipline, it takes patience. It's if you think that when you join CGP in 2 weeks, in 1 month, maybe in 3 months, you'll be different and everything will be perfect and you already be a millionaire, things like that. Like don't join. Stay away or go play in the lottery or go to a casino or something like that, because you cannot fix or change something that you've built for years, maybe some habits or something, in just 3 months. It doesn't work like that, right? So it's not if you think that this is going to be like a magic recipe just to make money, don't join. Remember, there are a lot of lessons, videos, exercises, and the thing is that if you think that only watching videos or only consuming content will make you a better person or a better investor or get you where you want to be, also don't join, because as I think Jacques said this, and this also resonated to me a lot, it also helped me with this shift, was that I was, in the beginning, I was like that, just watching the videos and thinking that it was enough. And then when the time came to actually build my systems is where I felt the first hit. As I said, it takes time and it takes discipline, and there are a lot of exercises that you need to put the work in order to get somewhere. If you think that you, Robin or Jacques, will take you by the hand and guide you through everything, no, you will show the way, but the walking, like, you have to move your own feet. You have to do your exercises. You have to do the tasks that you are told to do, even if you think they're useless, they're boring, they're whatever. It's how it is. It takes months. For me, I think it took, I would say, 6, almost 9 months to actually change, that to have that shift in almost complete shift in mindset, to understand, okay, this is where I'm getting through these exercises, right? So yeah, if you're looking for something quick, and if you're not willing to completely change and spend the time and the months and have the consistency throughout the months, like, this is really not for you. Just go back to trying to guess the next 100x, and I think you'll be better off.
Yeah, better off in the dreamland.
Yeah.
Of things that, yeah, I always describe it like the pain of not changing needs to be way bigger than the pain of execution, of doing the things that are necessary.
Exactly.
To get where you want. And for some people, they understand the logical path of how things work. They know when they are going alone and not working on the things that they need to be working on, they will get to that point where they have this level of pain. So especially if you walk like other routes before where you had a similar journey, like, you will understand, okay, this is how it will go. So I will directly go with something that is shortcutting all of that journey. But other people, have to go through this journey over and over again. And I spoke to people who are now in Crypto Game Plan who went through 2 cycles, made a lot of money, lost a lot of money, and they had to go through those pain cycles 2 times in a row, just to understand that this is not how they will get to wherever they want to go. And it's important that you feel that pain or understand that this pain is going to come, because otherwise, as you said, you will not have the discipline to go through the exercises, through the daily or weekly tasks that you guys give you. So it's very important, a very important thing that you need to understand. Got it. I think this is a perfect way of describing this or answering this question. Now, we're coming to an end. Now, if someone is watching this right now and is on the fence about joining, what is like the one thing they need to know on top of what you just said?
I think they need to know that it's not how can I say this? It's not a very straightforward journey, right? You might be in different steps of your way, and the way that you are going to make the best of CGP may be different, right? So have the patience to look where you are where you are right now, and get out of CGP the things that make the most sense to you, right? So if you're in the fence about joining, do a little bit of self-reflection. Maybe if you're watching this video, you can think a little bit about of all the other things I said, and do a little bit of introspection before, right? And if you are at that turning point, and if you agree with the things that I say, or that you also said, Robin, if you're willing to come to that change of mindset, if you're not there already, if you're willing to put in the work right now, go ahead and do it, join. And remember, if this is not for you in the end, at least it's something you tried to do differently. It's not the end of the world if you join something that in the end you find out it was not made for you. I know it's very hard to come to this conclusion, and it's very hard to accept that you made a mistake, right? I have that problem. I've had this problem several times, and I think it kept me from coming to something like this earlier. So just remember, this is a decision you can go back on. If you join and it's not for you, it's just something you tried. Keep going.
Good way to answer this question as well. And your answers are beautiful. All right. One last question. Is there anything else you would like to share about your experience that we haven't covered yet?
Yeah, something I would like to share also, and this is very personal to me in terms of what I felt when I joined, right? In the beginning, I have to say that the program felt a bit sketchy in terms of like how the videos were recorded and what kind of structure that was being used to go through the content. The content was fantastic, by the way. But I think maybe this is why I say it's personal, because coming from the professional world that I come and the things that I've seen before, it felt a little bit sketchy in the beginning. But the improvements over this past year are immense. So I have to share that. Even if it looks a bit sketchy in the beginning, it might not look, let's say, very professional in terms of how it's structured, right? Or the tools that are being used, or how everything is being presented to you. Know that it's being improved constantly, and I've seen huge improvement, and it's only been a year. And working in IT, I know how these projects can take forever, so it's very surprising to see how much it's evolved throughout this past year. So yeah, you might have to come with an open mind in regards to that, and focus more in the content in the beginning, because the structure with which this content is being presented is constantly evolving, right? And in the end, although it feels sketchy in the beginning, as I said, it takes time, and after a few months you're going to get more clarity on how this is going to help.
Got it. Constant improvement. Maybe it doesn't feel sketchy for the people who join, let's say, in a year.
yeah, why not? It's improving, yeah.
It's improving.
It's definitely improving.
Yeah, this is a discussion that Jack and I had, because I'm like a very designer guy. Like, I like things that look good and are presented in a nice looking way. And Jack is always like, the value is the only important thing. I will make this presentation now based, like, I will not add fancy animations or anything like that. I would just put the value there that is important for the person who's watching the video to like implement whatever I'm going to talk about. And the rest, whenever we have time for that, we will maybe improve it in the future.
No, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I understand that point. But this is why I say, like, it might feel a little sketchy, but pay attention to the value that is being offered.
I maybe add some screenshots in the video, so people understand what you mean. All right, got it. Rodrigo, thank you very much for doing this, and it was an amazing conversation. And yeah, I mean, do you have anything else to say?
No, just thank you also for the opportunity. I think I said this to you before, but I really enjoy this kind of, to me it's an exercise, it's a learning opportunity. It's getting out of my comfort zone a lot, so I appreciate it. And anytime you want to have more of these conversations, I'm always open to it. I really appreciate the opportunity there.
Next time we will do it live.
That would be interesting. I would love to do it too. Actually, it would be a fantastic experience.
I'm open.
Keep that in mind. I would be open to it too.
Okay, I will keep that 100% in mind. Okay, Rodrigo, thank you very much.
Thank you,
and I
Harvey.
see you in the chat or in the next investment call.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.